Hello everyone, welcome to the 10th International Workshop on Sustainable Road Freight organized by the Center for Sustainable Road Freight. This is Dr. Rajan Chandra Saha, Head of Research and Innovation, Saip Power Tech Limited, Dhaka, Bangladesh. My research title is A Modal Shift Approach to Reduce Carbon Dioxide Emissions in the Dhaka-Chattogram Freight Corridor of Bangladesh. My outline of the presentation is I will start by introduction and then node mode analysis, problem statement, research methodology, literature review, and after that the second portion is the quantitative data analysis, major findings and discussion, lastly way forward or future directions, and concluded by giving some necessary selections of the research paper. So as introduction, you know that Dhaka-Chattogram Expressway is the main road in infrastructure of Bangladesh that is connected to the principal seaport Chattogram port with the major cities of Bangladesh. It is the prime freight transport corridor of Bangladesh that carries the maximum cargo of the country, also the all-out portion of international merchandise goods. You know, Bangladesh is very well known for ready-made garments industry. The 99% of the ready-made garments are exporting by this freight corridor. So this corridor is very important for the country. Unfortunately, the existing vehicles like conventional trucks and cover vans are managing the full trade of the corridor, so that it is essential to remove the conventional trucks and covered vans that are very unhealthy. But the banking sector is not in a position to change old vehicles and replace them with modern vehicles or electric charge fleets, yet not started any kind of modern technology to replace of these vehicles to convert into a modern vehicles. This paper aims to find out the possible approaches to reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the Dhaka-Chattogram freight corridor of Bangladesh and explore whether modal shift is an appropriate approach to create a good environment in the corridor and facilitate modern freight transportation systems in Bangladesh, also to comply with the sustainable development goals and zero emissions approach by the International Maritime Organization, where international shipping is going to shape a new arena. So inland transport connectivity also an important matter, and make it zero is also important for the country, also for the global world. So before going to the main presentation, I would like to say about some node and mode analysis factors. Like fortunately, Bangladesh is covering all kind of modes like road, rail, waterways, pipeline, and air freight. And we have three important nodes, seaports, and one ICT, riverine ICT in Pangau, and also Dhaka Rail ICT. This is the one inland container depot in Bangladesh, and approx 244-kilometer long road, which corridor is what I stating the Dhaka-Chattogram corridor. The national highway number 1 is approx 244 kilometer, that is connecting from the capital city 0 point to the Chattogram port. Again, I am telling the rail also available approx 340 kilometers for covering the same distance of road, but it has only one rail connectivity that's is running with the passenger connections, and inland waterways are available, and it is approach to 50 kilometers from Chattogram port, little far from the capital. The present inland container terminal is just 3 or 4 kilometers backward, so it is not making any popular things due to the mindset of the users and other things. And if I go to the problem statement, I just extracted a few points here. Number one is freight movement in road mode is a causal factor in that also affects to the passenger transportation that occurs in frequent road accidents and congestions in this main corridor. Two other modes, rail and waterways, are available but overutilized and underutilized respectively. When we'll go to the statement of the data, then we'll find out that how it is overutilized and why waterways are not popular and it is underutilized in our country. But rail intermodal is not increasing due to the single track between Dhaka and Chattogram, and it is running simultaneously with the passenger tracks, so no separated track for the freight transportation system, so that it is not getting the higher throughput in the inland container depots in Dhaka. And inland waterways play a big role in transporting bulk cargo, but it is less than 1% in container intermodal transportation. More than 11 million metric tons are importing in every year in Chattogram port, but the maximum portion, above 70%, are moving through the inland waterways, and the most of the cargoes are very popular, especially cement clinker, food commodity, by lighter vessels and sending to the river ports, or goods destinations in inland canals and others. Uh, the main another problem is the conventional trucks and covered vans. Already I told that they are liable for producing excessive CO2 in kilometer ton because of the short size of the vehicle and old engines. So these are the main problems in this research that I extracted from other problems. Uh, to tell about the research methodology, this research applied a quantitative method to calculate the number of trucks and cover vans are moving in the corridor that tag to the international shipping and their negative impacts on the environment, including CO2 emissions. A benchmark study is conducted with other freight modes, rail and waterways, to develop a modal shifting plan for the Dhaka-Chattogram freight corridor. At least half of the tonnage or half of the vehicles is to be diverted from road mode to rail and waterways in bringing the rhythm in the freight corridor. I just followed this secondary study of McKin on 2012, where we just explored that the road is producing 132 gram carbon dioxide per ton kilometer, but on the contrary, average 22 gram carbon dioxide per ton kilometer in the rail and river. So if we look forward to the our status or statistics in the Dhaka-Chattogram freight corridor, also in the Bangladesh, that is, we have 2 lakhs vehicles, trucks and covered vans in all over the country, and in every day in the freight corridor, that is 20,000 vehicles are moving from Dhaka to Chittagong or vice versa. So we are able to save, as per calculation, 1.1 million gram carbon dioxide per day. So if we earlier I told the methodology is to get that half of the tonnage or half of the vehicles, that is modal shift 50% from road to rail and river, will help us to get or save 1.1 million gram carbon dioxide per day. So I got lots of literature regarding this one, but no literature is found that how it will be applied to the research and will get a solution. So in the literature review, we just think that how much connected to the freight corridor, how it will be making something new, innovation and others. So first of all, this integration of seaports, railways and inland container depots and terminals is putting logistical challenges on the Dhaka-Chattogram corridor, but how it will solve it is not found in the research. Similarly, Nasser et al. Explored that ample time is needed to promote a modal shift to low carbon intensity modes. That is, in the Dhaka-Chittagong highway, the 20,000 vehicles are moving, but it is not possible to shift or convert as certainly it takes time. It will take time, so that we need ample time to convert this one. And the CO2 emissions would decrease if freight traffic shifted from the road to the rail. So that universal truth is that shifting modal shift is important, but it must be road to the rail or other modes. So lastly, the Taneja et al. 2012, they brought some innovations in maritime logistics and inland freight transport connectivity. That is the combi road idea to increase the efficiency of road freight. Also, floating crane to reduce port congestion by direct transfer of cargo and containers at sea. Already we told the modal shift from road to waterways. So floating crane is important because if the container is coming to the port jetty, then again it needs to load to the local inland vessels, so it takes time. So if we are able to transfer the cargo and container at the outer anchorage by floating crane, then it will save time and also the hassle for coming or berthing the vessel at port jetty. As the Dhaka-Chattogram highway is going to shaping the new areas, so the middle portion, if there is a combi road, that will also help us. So the literature review is telling the gaps, that there are some innovations, there are some problems, ample time is required, high investment is compulsory or appreciated to convert a modern shaped road in the Dhaka-Chattogram highway. So in the quantitative data analysis, we just observed that in the last decade, 2000 to 2022, Chattogram port doubled its port throughput from 1.5 million TEUs to above 3.1 million TEUs. So in here, rail contributed 3.08% and inland waterways 0.59%. So Chattogram port throughput doubled, but rail contribution is not significant, and waterways is very underutilized. Earlier I told that I will show the percentage. Actually, the basic intermodal system for container is the standard is 30 to 40%, but in Bangladesh it is less than 5%. So ample opportunity is coming to convert and making a good container diversions for modal shift and increase the throughput and connect the Chattogram port with the major cities very highly. Another quantitative data analysis, that is the Dhaka Rail ICD. The basic capacity is 80,000 kiloTEUs. The ICD doubled its port throughput in last decade, but the number, the comparison with the Chattogram port road, it is not going up to the mark. But the basic performance is Dhaka Rail ICD is good. Similarly, PICT is performing 1/4 as this ICT has the 116 kilo capacity, but it is performing 1/4 of the total port throughput. Passage delays, that means the vessels coming from the Chattogram port is taking huge time, and backward logistics are reasons behind the low performance. So overall, the study, the quantitative data analysis, and also literature review, everything is giving the some major findings, and discussions are below. Like port development is essential, and port authority needs to look forward to interland and improve inland freight transport connectivity. And it is essential to remove unhealthy covered vans, and also the new innovation of freight, what I told earlier, combi road and others. So it is essential to bring innovation in this stage. As rail is started in 1987, it is stagnant position. So Dhaka Rail ICD was established, but no longer today, to improve more ICDs in Bangladesh. Waterways are not proper due to linking problem, passage delays, backward logistics, and documentation interruption by customs. So we need to think what we can do more for the this trade for improving the facilities in waterways. Also establish more ICTs. So port throughput increased, but the share of intermodal is decreased, but did not improve due to the infrastructure problems, and not considering freight as a vital factor for development in Bangladesh. Not least is the mindset of users and uncertainty of inland transport that resulted in dependency on obdocks of Chattogram and Chattogram port. So not looking forward to convert the ICD in Chattogram city. It is better to send the container by dry system. And also in the policy problems and coordination among ministries to implement national integrated multimodal transport policy. So way forward is telling that a dedicated lane for freight vehicles on the Dhaka-Chattogram highway is appreciated, and it is highly recommended to make a single corridor or single line or lane for freight transportation, especially for cargo and containers that are importing or exporting from to Chattogram port. So introduce a special scheme to replace old vehicles and incentives for modern and electric vehicles, and special green transport for the fashion industry and support green factories in Bangladesh, and reduce the passage time of waterways and established more ICT by covering main river ports. Double-decker container trains and established more ICD major cities and industrial areas that will connect to the port city Chattogram, and bring innovation in road transport like combi road, AI driven traffic system, green corridors, etc. provide government incentive in waterways, and develop logistics to reach the last mile, and implementation of national integrated multimodal transport policy that started in 2013, but yet not any good things, because as per policy we need to improve the inland transport connectivity, but it is not going on properly. So in conclusion, I will say the long-term commitments involving numerous stakeholders include political choice on new infrastructure projects to promote modal shift. That is, it is must to modal shift from road to rail or waterways. The practical impact of the research is to develop policies to protect the Dhaka-Chattogram freight transport corridor and make an opportunity to use all modes equally. It is essential to start synchromodal and intermodal system by shipper concern, choice in considering environmental factors in freight transport modes, because synchromodality is highly possible in Bangladesh, as we have the rail, road, river, and all types of modes in our country. So from Chattogram port, it is possible to start synchromodality, and shipper consignee can choose any mode. If we are able to make the all modes in all equal opportunity for them, and considering the cost, time, and damage factor, it is essential to develop Dhaka-Chattogram freight transport corridor in more modern and technology-wise way, and also improve and also implement the modal transport policy, like from road to waterways or rail, and need to develop the rail highly. Thanks a lot from Dr. Rajan Chandra Saha, and also thanks from my owner who gave me the opportunity to present this paper. That means the Honorable Managing Director of Sai Power Tech and others. Thank you very much from my side.